This conference will now be recorded.
You can
This
talk.
conference will now be recorded.
So Varun, Manoj, Gautam, Raghavendra, Balasubramaniam. Yep. So any replies can I expect? Maybe through message or like you can unmute and you can talk.
Hi, this is Varun, and this is my first BI tool.
Okay, fine. So earlier, do you have any experience with any other IT softwares or any
Yes, I
technologies?
do have yeah on different technology. So I used to work on IBM integration bus.
No, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
fine. Thanks, Tarun. Quickly, any other introductions that is good to know each other, and we'll start the first session today. This is your first class. So today, okay, if you people are ready to have a discussion, like if you want to share your which way you are expertise and if you are starting newly in the technology. So Manoj, Usman. So Usman and Varun and yeah, the things which are discussing, like just to want to know your introduction. Anyone having some experience in any other BI tools or ETL tools, and just knowing that maybe I can start the way which I
There's
want to.
yeah. As I said, this is my first class, so I used to work on different IIB tools. So
Yeah,
in
yeah,
this
Varun,
class,
that's fine, Varun. I got
yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah, tell
I'm
me. You go
expecting
ahead.
from the scratch of like
Yeah,
what
correct,
exactly
exactly.
Power BI and what exactly how it's worked. Like yeah, generally, I'm saying that
Yeah,
I'm
the image
expecting that.
which yeah, yeah, the image which I'm showing is different. It's like
Mm-hmm.
all over the BI environment. It's not about Power BI. It's not about Power
Okay.
BI, but it's all
Mm-hmm.
about the data warehouse today. I want to focus on this part, how the data is going to stay lay on this database, and
Mm-hmm.
from here how Databricks will try to, I mean, from here from OLTP servers we will have data as in a
Mm-hmm.
maybe ETL developer using a Databricks or Data Factory or any other BA tools like Power Query. These tools will help you to fetch the data from OLTP and load it into the warehouse. So what kind of data we would have here is nothing but day-to-day transaction data. That data will
Mm-hmm.
be summarized based on monthly or like weekly or quarterly. So how do we summarize it using the transformations we have to know? So first of all, when we are designing this data warehouse database, we have a modeling concept called like star schema, snowflake schema. So
Yes,
from there,
exactly.
the BI developer will take the data so that, but today I'm just mainly focusing on the construction of the data warehouse only, how the data would be maintained. So what is the purpose of a data warehouse? Why should I pull the data from OLTP and why should I made it into the OLAP? For example, I have a data billing, one five store billing. When I have that five store billing, how do I maintain it, or what is the purpose of it? Based on that, the design would be there. Am I right? It's not like maybe the five store construction building will not be similar way. Whatever the way, if you want, you cannot utilize it until unless you have a plan for particular of it, and how do we utilize that. These all things are the considerations. So the same way, the OLTP is the purpose to run the business, and the data warehouse is to, it's all about to maintain the history. So why should we maintain the history means we are going to um, we are going to maintain the history to analyze the business. When you try to analyze the business, what is the result we are going to fetch? We are going to fetch some summarized data to analyze the business, where we are in the positive and where we are in negative, where we have to grow and where we have to do more work, where we have to keep the stock availability, and what is the stock orders you have to provide. So these all things will come in the history, based on the history. Yeah, this is data bricks class, Gautam, but already we have spoke two classes with data bricks in the previous class and earlier class. No, no, it's data bricks only. So today we are purely talking about, see, if I have, this is our Databricks connectivity community edition. But so far we are not going to start Databricks in this tomorrow session. We are going to talk with data warehouse construction, and what is in and out of Databricks we have discussed last 2 days, two sessions. Okay.
Okay, sir, got it.
So
Today only I joined, that's why I don't know. That's why I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
read.
understood, understood. So what I can do, what I'll tell you, I'll mainly focusing from today. How do we construct the data warehouse? This is the main agenda for me to do session from today. So instead of this, I'll just try to show you this part.
So Rajesh, a question: Did you were you able to complete that? All the material that we're gonna cover in Databricks.
You are expecting the content, I guess, right? The content
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
sense, yeah,
Exactly,
sure.
exactly. The
Yeah,
content.
yeah. See, today, Max, because why I was waiting, because like we do add on some contents for one session to another session, where we seen or expertised in our working environment. So definitely we'll have some changes. So to do that, I'm not getting really sufficient time. But Max, today by end of the day, you people will receive it. Okay, from my end only, it is pending from long back. But thing is, the way why I am just waiting so far. See, we do the best for the participants who are trusting us and joining with us. Definitely, we have that desire. So what we do, but content will be here and there. For example, I'm mentioning 10 contents, 10 topics in that. Maybe at the end of the day, you'll have the 11th topic also. So that's where we will add on, but we don't anything to, apart from the 10 content, we don't move anything. So finally I have some changes to it. Definitely I'll bring it to your I mean inboxes, max by today end of the day. Okay. So if not, like before to the session of tomorrow also, at least you people have, I feel, I mean I am expecting it. Even from my side I have done changes to do, so that is the reason I was waiting for. Okay. So
Okay, no
don't
worries.
mind. Yeah, don't mind, everything will be covered in detail, and every concept will be which is really helpful, definitely we will cover. So yeah,
So
so coming to the data.
we agreed that we agreed that we're gonna cover delta tables and delta live tables in this course,
Yeah,
right? Okay,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. So coming to like the first session, whoever the people are attending today, I suggest them to understand quickly the whole flow which I'm covering. Just 2 minutes we will cover this part and we will go further. Okay. Whoever already covered it, I'm sorry for them, but definitely see, just you people concentrate on the topic which I am talking up to this level, whichever I rounded or highlighted. Please don't go to any other terminologies which you have, which you are seeing. It's all about the BI whole environment. So whereas the data which is laying in the OLTP, just trying to put into OLAP using these two different servers. Server in the sense which is your laptop, which is your normal laptop, maybe which is your system. It can be a server, but only the difference between a server and a laptop is nothing but a high configured and high configured databases and RAMs, processors. This will be very high configured for a server because it has to run 24 by 7. So these databases servers are constructed to for two different purposes. One is to run the business. If you are performing ER modeling, in this ER database, we use ER modeling to run the business. And whereas data warehouse database is to maintain the history. Why do we maintain history? Means to analyze the business, to analyze the business. So here two different reasons we have, from OLTP to run the data, to run the business, from OLAP to maintain the history. Why these two will help? How these two will help? One way, if you run the business, you will get some income. If you analyze the business, you get some, I mean, you will get some decisions. How do we run in the future? Because every day you cannot run, because the people mindsets are changing nowadays. Not only nowadays, like day to day, within a decade of a time, definitely the people's generation is changing. Maybe earlier we don't have mobiles which we use to do shopping. It's a very basic mobiles we should have. We should only use it for to communicating to the person from different place and from here. So but nowadays we are utilizing this mobile concept within the lot of features, lots of features. So what we suggest here is, what we can do here is, just a minute, I got some. So here we got like a lot of changes. So even the business also should change according to the customers' requirements. So definitely we should understand, we should analyze. For suppose, if I say like, you people are registering to this Go Online for with us, you felt like you are having some good technical stuff at the end of the sessions. Tomorrow, after completion of, I mean, you have two different courses from two different organizations. One is Go Online and the other one is SumX. So you felt something positive with Go Online and something negative with the other X course. After 1 year again, you have to go according to your requirement in the work environment. You have to go to with another course. What you will do? If you're really satisfied well with Go Online, you will just directly inquire with Go Online, such course is available or not. Do you inquire with the X course again? No. Why? We had some bad experience. So the some X organization is not helping you to reach or like reach to you. So definitely we are not going to that. Means what happens here? According to your history, you are taking the decisions for the future. That is the general thing we do in our regular lives as well. So that kind of data will be maintained in the data warehouse, which will help you to take some decisions in the business based on the history. We help this data warehouse will help you. So the data warehouse database, when I say, you people know how the database will be maintaining the data in the two-dimensional way. In the two-dimensional way means columns and rows. When we say columns and rows, if I want to understand the data, it is not going to help me in a easy steps to understand it. What I am going to do, the data which is in this data warehouse, that data I will try to convert into the graphical representation in the form of bar charts, pie charts, or some line charts, something, so that it will be more easier to understand in the graphical mode. If you say, for example, what is the advantage of converting the textual information into a graphical information, I'll tell you. If you go for a movie, and if you watch the movie and come, if you are explaining to your friend, you are narrating the story to your friend, do you think your friend will be comfortable in feeling, experiencing that same visualization, song, sound, and the hero heroines actions, everything? Definitely no. He might know the in and out the story of it, but he could not really experience the real efforts until unless you go and watch the movie. The similar way, if you have the data in this form, how many employees I have here? 40 employees. I want to know who is getting the highest salary. How do we know that? Definitely it will take some time. I have to go to the salary. I have to validate 24,000, 17,000, 9,000, 6,000. Like this, I have to validate each and every record. For 40 records, tell me hardly how much time it will take. Definitely maximum it will take like half an hour of time, to be honest, to get a required data. Half an hour, why I am saying is, if you have 40 employees and if I want to get some other information, I got the highest employee, fine. Who is getting highest salary? Maybe if I just go and validate these 40 records, I'll get one record. Later, I got one more question. In each department, there are multiple departments. In each department, I want to know the highest salary. Again, you will start understanding the departments wise. Definitely, it will make long time, right? To avoid that, what we can do, we can write some queries. I just want to say like select star from employees, and I'll say like order by salary. Now order by salary, what it will do, it will give the highest salary in the in the ascending order it is giving. I'll try to do it in the descending. It will give me the highest to the lowest. So 24,000 is the highest salary. And department wise, if I want to get the highest or lowest salary again, maybe I have to perform order by department as well. Department ID as well, and I want to perform the salary. Now department ID 1, 2 department, the salary is highest. So who is getting highest salary I can know. Means I am able to write some queries and I am able to fetch the data which is required to me. But if I am not good at in queries, why? Because for example, who is going to analyze these reports and take decisions in the business means the people who completed their backgrounds with MBA. In MBAs, they will not have any software courses like SQL or something. Even though they are good, they cannot write the queries like this, because if you write lot of queries like this, it will take long time to analyze the business. It will take long time. So what we need to do, we need to I'll just start this cluster in the meantime. In the meantime, I'll start this cluster. Okay. So coming to this back, so now who is this is all about the requirement. So to get the data, historical data of the business in a graphical representation, we follow a lot of BI tools, lot of ETL tools we have. So one of that among that is Databricks. Among them, one of the concept is Databricks, which is to perform ETL, which is to perform the visualization as well. So Power BI, ADF, these all are the GUI tools. But what is the benefit of going to Databricks among all these courses, among all the technologies? Definitely, it's all about like cluster. Everything you have at one click. For example, if you use Data Factory, you have to dump the data into the warehouse. From there, the reports will be generated from separate tool. So ETL, ADF is one part, database is the second part, and your reporting is the third part. And if you take Databricks, the whole cluster is at one place. Your servers of the OLTP system, your ETL flows of Python, Spark, Scala, whatever you write, I mean to say like Python, Scala, and you can use R and you can write in SQL as well. So there are multiple ways to implement the ETL flows, and on top of it you can store the data within the cluster, and on top of it you can generate the reports as well, and you can share those reports to the end user. So here where the Databricks is having the fetching of having all these different domains at one place, and Databricks will give you the solutions for multiple departments like data engineer and data scientist. See here, if you go to databricks.com, you will see the first importance, means like what is the advantage. See, the best warehouse, data warehouse is very mandatory to have in an organization to grow the organization year to year. So the best is the data warehouse. Next, what is lake house means, we have data lake storage in the cloud service, and Databricks will help you that. So that's why we are using lake house in the Databricks, and it is a platform. And real time analytics. Analytics means what? Understanding the business. So your business is in downfall or in a upfall, means it's growing up or coming down, going down. I mean to say like towards the downward. If you sell which product high, then what product if you keep high availability in the stock, definitely you will get good profit. It will come to know through these visualizations only. Means the data is monitored or the data is maintained in warehouse in such a way. So this is all just introduction. I'll show you one quick in the Databricks itself. We have my cluster is on now. See here, you can compute the cluster here itself. Maybe if you people are aware of understanding Hadoop environment, Apache Spark cluster on the cloud service, on the on-premises services. The similar replication we have in the cloud, which is replacing with the Databricks. See, you have the data factory. I mean, you say data tab, which will help you to store the data as well. Okay, once your cluster is ready, your cluster, see, Databricks is providing you with 15 GB of memory of 2 crores of one data unit process, DBU process of unit processor of one. By default, it's free. You can work with this for a lifetime, but you cannot increase these memory sizes and all. But for a sample data sets of 2 crores processing, you can work on. So community is providing, so you can just upskill your practical knowledges with this two cluster. How do we configure this all and all, we will come to know. Okay, so once you on the cluster, you can start extracting the data and you are storing the data in multiple ways. See, this is your employee data CSV file. You can just store in dbfs format, but still it is not into the live Databricks file system. So the huge volume. What is the other advantage? One advantage with Databricks moving into BI environment is what? All about having whole cluster at one place. That is one thing. Second thing, it is very flexible to handle the big kind of data, big size of the data. And handling unstructured data also, it's very familiar. Means I cannot do with other tools, means definitely I can do. Like ADF I can use to read the unstructured data. By using ADF I can handle the big data. But how much expensive you are getting charged to your client, that is the secondary thing. And how much development activity you are performing, that is the next thing. In Python, if you are familiar with writing with the code, and if you start learning coding, it's very simple in this Databricks to perform all the expensive things in other tools. That is the best thing the people are moving to Databricks nowadays. I hope I am clear at some part of understanding, making you to understand the concepts here. I have got some employees data which I am using from DBFS source system, which is employees.csv. And on top of it, I created a table. And if table is already exist, I want to drop it and I want to create it again. And on top of it, I got the department ID, sum of salary, and order department, the group by. So this is all like we have done. I'm just nothing doing. I'm ready. So this is what I have just. So cells, these are called cells. In one cell, I have written creating a table. In another cell, I am fetching the data which is required. Within the same cell, the representation, I can just simply convert this into the table format as well. Simply, I can convert into the table format as well. Simply, I can just convert into the visualization format as well. And the same visual I can publish into the next level which I require. So within one environment, you have all the things. That is the main advantage with the Databricks, as I mentioned. So to in process of this, in processing of this, we are talking today to construct first the warehouse, because your OLTP servers, you need to know few concepts. We will talk about that in the next coming section, in a week from Monday. The next concept is to know how to we work with ETL using Python. So you can just perform all the activities using Python. I mean to say like, see, you can create a new notebook. See, these are like data scientist engineering can take this workspace. Yeah, please go ahead. Someone is asking some question.
Do I need to know Python if I want to use
Definitely.
Databricks?
Yes,
Is
it's a
an
prerequisite. We are going to cover it. We will cover it.
okay.
Only the thing you people should know, or you should be capable to practice and study, I mean, learning from today.
Mm-hmm.
All the prerequisites, all the required things, we will let you know. We can train you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No need to again jump into another session and learn and come back. Nothing is not like that. Like
Okay.
everything we will start. We will do from our scratch. That
Oh,
is the whole the course. So, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. See here, we can create a notebook using any one of the skills or the complete notebook flow, the job, the name terminology for the complete workbook. See, notebook is nothing but a combination of multiple cells. Cell is nothing but writing the code either using any one of the code. So the combination of multiple of these four codes, we can make it as a notebook, and within that notebook, we can trigger in a job to run. So your notebook mainly, which code you are more familiar to write. You can use Python, you can use SQL, you can use Scala, you can use R. Mostly I'll focus on these three more. Either Python or either R you can do. Python anyhow we are learning. So I'll suggest all these three things we are going to cover. But in some case I'll talk about very basic concept of R as well. But really it will not help you to showcase some experience on top of it. But these three things you can showcase your experience. Okay, so now if I say Python, you can write Python script, and even in the middle of this notebook for different cell, if you want to change your code, you can do that, no problem. So that is also flexible. So these all three will help you to make an output of the data warehouse of the data which is in the form of visualizations like this. It is very simple basic information that I am providing of 40 records which I am showing you here. But in the real time, you are going to work with some millions of data. But Databricks is very simply it will handle. That is the main concept. Okay. So is it fine to go ahead with everyone to start up the session with first class today? Anyone have any questions you people can ask? If not, we are good to go and start up the first session today. I'll start with the basic concept of data. What is meant by data? Anyone? So if you people are not raising any question, then definitely I'll feel everything is fine and I can go ahead with the session. If not, you can stop me. I am ready to answer you. So I'm just going to start with a notebook. I'm going to say like data, the first concept within our whole flow. The whole course is dependent on this terminology. The whole course, not only the course, any domain you go as an IT employee, you should work with data. What is meant by data? What kind of data you see in your regular life, in your personal life? So first of all, I'll stand on to make you or know from you what is meant by a data. If anyone want to unmute and answer, you can answer. If you want to chat and answer, you can chat. No problem. You can do anything. So if you people
Data is like a collection of
collection of
sets.
sets, okay, some set of information. I can say like data means purely information,
Yeah,
simply
sets of
information. That
information.
information can be provided in the form of sets, in the form of uh, so something visuals. The information can be
Mm.
passed in different way. Okay, so
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. Thanks for the reply. So now, what this information will help? How this information will help you? Definitely, the information will help you, whether it is a good information, bad information, whether it is a positive information or negative information. It is some information to take care ourselves. So I'll tell you, I have a few details of something like this. I have something like this, and I have like mm, can anyone tell me what all these things I'm mentioning? Can you define anything here? What is 101? If I ask you, anyone can say.
It's ID,
This is in
maybe.
data.
Some of
This is in
the
data. If I say 101, what is 101 is referring to? What is Raju is referring to? What is 45,000 is referring to? What is
employee,
Suresh is?
sir, employee
Huh.
ID, employee name, salary, right,
Manager.
us, right in,
Okay.
right now,
I'll
employee
tell
ID,
like
employee,
this.
okay,
This is manager ID, I'll tell. This is manager name, I'll tell. Will it not be? The salary of the manager. And this is employee name, I'll tell. And this is employee ID, I'll tell. Will it work or not? This is manager ID. This is manager name. This is the salary, maybe managers or employees. And this is manager. This is employee's name. This is employee. Can't it be? Will not be? Yes, it can be.
Yes.
But now what is 101 means? Definitely you can say that it is a manager ID. You don't assume it. So definitely we should not assume in IT. The first thing you have to learn, the day one if you are starting your career within to move to IT, don't assume in IT. Assumptions will make you to get a bad impression within the managers. So don't we should not assume. We should see the reality. So maybe I started with 101 as an employee. Yes, it can be correct, but I haven't. I can change it. If you are feeling it is a manager ID, I'll change it into employee. If you are feeling it is an employee, I'll change it into manager ID. Because I did not give you the information about this information. Some information with about this information I did not give you. So this is called data about data. This is data about this data. If I want to know this data, I want to know. So data about data. So this is nothing but your column names. This is nothing but your column names, and this is nothing but your values, the rows. So the data which is storing in the database is data stores in the database is in which format? Two-dimensional format. Two-dimensional means what? One dimension is columns. The other dimension is what? Rows. Two-dimensional format. So this is what I am showing you in SQL Server also. So column names are the headers, and these are the rows. Okay, so this two-dimensional way of the data is going to help you to do lots of things in the industry, in the work industry or in the business industry, anywhere. So these two things we should do. We are going to completely focus on the column names to work on the rows. If I want to convert this Raju into capital case, I don't go and write uppercase of Raju. What will happen? The result, if Raju is only present, I will get it as Raju. The capital case of this Raju I will get. But what happens if I say Suresh in the below, in the second manager as second manager, if I take Suresh, how it will work on Suresh? It will not work. So that's why instead of giving the row value in the conditions, we will specify the headers, the structure. So the column name is mandatory here. So that is what we are going to work on the concepts here in a data bricks as well. If you want to perform something, I'm performing on the column, not on the I'm performing on the columns, not on the values, because total values I have 1 to 11. 1 to 11 departments I have. So the department ID I am taking to work on these 11 records, 11 values, but not on these 11 individually. Okay, so that is how we are going to work on every functions or like every transformation which will be working on the column names. So you should know the column. And this is one set of information I want to pass on before starting the concept. So I hope it be clear with the storage of the data is in the two-dimensional way format, and the two-dimensional way format we use columns and rows, and columns especially to work with some transformations like uppercase, lowercase. These are all called transformation, basic transformation. Now I'll come into data warehouse directly. What is data warehouse? DWH. One of the huge like weightage of domain in the IT industry with the name of BI. If you say data warehouse, maybe few of them might know the concept which you are talking about, but many of the people knows if you are saying BI, people will know. What is meant by BI? Business intelligence. Business intelligence. What is meant by business intelligence? If you remember, the first image, whole concept is nothing but business intelligence only. Getting some information in the form of a raw data, getting some information in the form of a raw data. Raw data means what? Which is in different formats. This data we are integrating into one platform to maintain the history. On top of it, we are converting into the visuals to get some information. This whole process is called as BI. The whole process is called as BI. I'm sorry, I just stopped the screen share. I'm just sharing it once again. So business intelligence. Business intelligence. So from the today, I'm going to focus on the data warehouse. So I mentioned as DWH. What is meant by DWH? Data warehouse. It is a part of the BI environment. Before jumping into the bricks, definitely you should know these things, because maybe you are very familiar with writing Python script, maybe very familiar with writing SQL scripts, and maybe you know all the database concept, Databricks concept very well. But if you are not aware of data warehousing concepts, I feel that Databricks knowledge is, of course, it's important now because of having good demand in the market. But in the future, if the competition is more on the Databricks, definitely you people are not going to survive. Today you might survive because there is a less competition, and people are not moving. So definitely you have less competition nowadays. So coming to this data warehouse, as I mentioned, what is the main purpose of this data warehouse, and what is a data warehouse? Data warehouse is a database which will maintain the history, which maintains the history data. Why should it maintain history? Based on history, what it is doing, it is analyzing the business. What happens if you do analyzing? You will get some information. Based on this information, what we can do? We can take the decisions. We can take decisions. So decisions will help you to grow the business. Mostly, we will try to grow. We will not try to come down. So we will grow in the business. We will grow. Maybe grow means either it can be in a profitable way, either it can be profitable way or expansion way, anything. So first of all, if you try to maintain how, if you know how do we maintain history in the data warehouse, if you know in the data warehouse database, definitely we can start analyzing later part. Once you start analyzing, we'll get some information on the next part. After getting some information, definitely you can take some decisions. So these things first I will talk you through theoretical information, some part. Like, so first of all, we will focus on understanding how do we maintain history. So the data warehouse main concept is to maintain history in the form of SCD. What is meant by SCD? SCD means it is a slowly changing dimension. Slowly changing dimension. What is meant by SCD means slowly changing dimension. I'll tell you how to understand what is meant by SCD in a clear picture. I have an employee ID, employee's first name, employee's last name, and I have employee last name, and I have employee's martial status, and I have uh, employee name, employee ID, employee last name, martial status, and employee's gender, and employee city. Now, tell me, in any organization, will an employee ID will change for every year? In any organization, will employee ID will change for every year? No. For 2 years? Definitely no. 5 years? No. That means what? Your employee ID is not going to change forever within that organization. Maybe you might change it into different organization, then your employee ID might change. Right? And the employee name will change for every year? No. For 2 years? No. 5 years? No. So this is not going to be an SCD column then. Maybe slowly changing means today it might not change, but tomorrow in the future somewhere it might change. Based on these two understanding, you people have to talk now. Employee last name is going to a possible SCD column. I mean to say like a SCD column we can say, or like possible changing column. Anything you can talk. You can say either SCD column or possible changing column. Tell me, employee last name is going to be in a possible changing column or SCD column? It can be an SCD column or not. Is it clear? First of all, the first two things which I discussed. If people are not willing to answer, let it be, no problem, but let me know. So accordingly, I'll go ahead. Okay. So no issues. If you people want to talk, you can just unmute and talk. If not, no problem. Within 1 minute of time, I'll just wait. 1 minute to 20 seconds, I'll wait, and we can go ahead. No problem. Okay, it's your convenience.
Yeah, it's clear for me.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for the reply. So I feel like employee's last name is going to be an SCD column or not. So employee ID is not SCD column. Employee name is not going to be an SCD column. Employee last name means surname. Maybe it is possible of surname it is going to change when in the case of female, when she is single. When she is single, her surname would be the some X, but after the single got changed into married, what will happen? She might get surname might change from X to Y. But definitely it is not in a universal rule. It's not universal rule. Maybe it is a constitutional rule. Yeah, no problem, Jitendra. Thanks, man. Thanks for your window. So, Jitendra is trying to give some information in the chat window. Yeah, if people can utilize chat window also. I'll just look into the chat as well. Thanks, Jitendra. No problem. So now coming to this employee's last name, yes, it can be a possible changing column in some cases, not universally, but in some cases. Then employee's martial status is going to be in a possible changing column? Yes, definitely. Single to married, married to divorced, divorced to widowed, something like that. Can gender can be changeable? Maybe nowadays people are doing, but I am not interested in this for now to talk on top of it. Correct or not? It's not nowhere relevant to us. It's not required for IT. Maybe in some business domain perspective, if you want to have to maintain, you have to maintain it. But until unless it's not required into your business, whether the customer is a gender or female, what happens to you? It's nothing. So that definitely we no need to maintain. So this is not going. Of course, it might be today. Maybe it is SCD column, but may not be helpful to my business anywhere. So that is the reason I'll not maintain it. Employee city. Yes, it is that a possible change. Because today I'm working in Hyderabad. Tomorrow, within the same organization, I can move to Bangalore. I can move to Mumbai. I can move to India from US to India. Anywhere I can do within the same organization. So the city can change. So first of all, identifying the SCD columns is very mandatory thing to maintain the data warehouse database with history. How many years of history you will maintain, that is secondary thing. But first of all, how do you start understanding to maintain the history is mandatory. That's what we are doing now. The first step you have to know before going to data warehouse to maintain history is understanding what is SCD. Slowly changing dimension. I'll tell you now one simple use case. If you people got the things what I discussed so far on top of SCD, if you people got it, just reply to me answer whether you are in chat window or like you can mute or unmute, anything you can do. It's up to you. I have a business for suppose my use case is, I'm telling you the use case, you have to tell me which it's like a game. Don't think that it is like something question and answer. Don't never do that. We are, I'm providing you training. I'm a trainer, and maybe I'm not really uh, cannot judge you or cannot, because in some cases you are more than me, means anywhere. It's not like question and answer. Please make it, it is a friendly environment. I am really just sharing my knowledge what I have, that's it. Okay, so you can answer whether it is correct or wrong, no issues at all. Nowhere we get good marks, we get bad marks, no percentages, no anything, nothing we do. Just we will discuss a friendly environment. To make a friendly environment, we'll have talk each other, that's it. Okay, follow that, it will be helpful in our futures communications as well. Okay, so now coming to this use case, I'll tell you the use case now. Take it in a story wise and help me out to get the solution. I have a business use case, okay? That is what I have my business in three different regions like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, three various cities. There are multiple employees working. The number, whatever it is, I'm not worried about it. But mostly, what happening, the people who belongs to Hyderabad, they are working in Chennai, and Chennai people are working in Bangalore, and Bangalore people are working in Hyderabad, like vice versa. So what happens here? Most of that employees, such employees, they are going on leaves. What is the reason behind? They are saying homesick, or like when they are getting some long week off, they are trying to put some more leaves and get long week off. So such way they are taking the leaves and all. So what I want to do is I want to make this. Of course, I'm getting profits, but if they are not going in much leaves, I'll get more profits. Then definitely I want to restrict these leaves. Then what should I do? Definitely one of the biggest solution, immediate solution which I will get is, okay, I'll ask these people who people belongs to Hyderabad work in Hyderabad only. Who people belongs to in Bangalore work in Bangalore only. The people who belong in Chennai just stay in Chennai and only work. If I do this directly, can it be a correct solution? Maybe, may not be. In some cases, what happens? In the hometown itself, there will be a lot of friend circles. Maybe this time they will go with leaves again. Maybe if I take this decision, so then what will happen? Maybe these people will go with leaves more based for the entertainment purpose. The earlier leaves are homesick purpose. Now the entertainment purpose, for suppose. Maybe the reason will be separating, siding. They'll hide the actual reason and they'll give the some false reason. But still, so that is the doubt I have. Now I want to get a solution on it. I'm not really take a decision without any experience results. So what I felt is, okay, this is directly instead of taking the decision, I'll ask these employees to work in 1 year for one city. In first year work for Hyderabad, the same employee works second year for Bangalore, third year with Chennai. On top of these 3 years, after performing completion of these 3 years within these three cities, then I will take a decision based on your performance, where you are working effectively. There I will place you permanent in the permanent. Now tell me, to do this use case, implement this use case, what is the possible changing column I require? What is the SCD column I have to maintain? Maybe your sample data, your sample columns are on your screen, which is highlighted with the blue color. You can utilize these column names and tell me which column is required to me to maintain history. Because I'm saying what I have asked this employee to work in three cities. The one city is Hyderabad, second city is Bangalore, and third city is Chennai. After completion of these 3 years, then I will take a decision, practical decision. Yes, this person is capable to work in this location. Maybe I might identify only the performance, and I'll see the attendance as well, like how much attendance he is maintaining also I'll try to check. Tell me in this use case which possible changing column is required to me in the columns which I highlighted on the screen which you are seeing. On top of it, which possible changing column I have to maintain. Employee ID, employee name, last name, martial status, gender. These are the columns and city column I have. So which looks to me to maintain history on top of which column? If you people are not clear about the information which I provided earlier, you can just ping me or chat. If you are clear with that, tell me the answer then. If you are okay. Yeah, I got from Jitendra
EID,
one of the
sir.
reply. Sorry,
EID, sir. EID,
Meno,
employee ID.
is this EID? Why
Yeah,
employee ID
Surya.
Surya? Okay, your answer is employee ID. We'll
ID
mark
is
it as
very easy for identify the history, all employee history, like name.
no, no. See, first of all,
Okay.
then I'll repeat once again the concept. Uh, your answer is okay. Thanks for the answer, but really, it is like mismatch. I'll tell you. See,
Okay.
what I'm saying, I have to maintain the SCD column. SCD columns means what? Employee is not an SCD column at all, because it is not going to change anywhere in the future. If any organization, for example, you are working for TCS, you joined in the year of 2010, and today you are in TCS only 10 years almost, about 10 years ago. Do you think your employee ID will change for every year? No, it will not change for every year. Until unless you move from out of TCS, then it is going to change with the new organization, new mail ID, new employee ID. But within this organization, it is not going to change. So this is not in a possible changing column. Is employee can be a possible changing column? No. Then what I am asking in my requirement, I have these three employees working in three different, I mean, not three employees, the employees working in three different locations. I want to maintain them, maintain their history. After 3 years, 3 years of history, I want to maintain. But on what column check I want to do? Jitendra given me the correct answer. Jitendra is the one person given me the correct answer. Let it be. The understanding of yours, I am not really worried. It's correct or wrong. So something you are answering, that is good. Manoj, I hope you are trying to talk, but I'm not able to hear you. Maybe the reason I don't know whether from problem from your side or from my side. I hope because I'm able to hear Surya Narayana. So he said employee ID, I am able to hear him. So maybe problem from your end.
I
Uh,
can hear you. So,
yeah, Manoj. Now I
but
can hear you, Manoj.
I am not able to type. Uh, it is
Okay, okay. You are not able to type in the chat window.
yes. Yes.
Maybe Jitendra is able to type again. So maybe, yeah, Raghavendra is trying to say something.
I can
Okay.
understand what you say.
Yeah, Manoj, super, no problem. Yeah, can you tell now what is the possible changing column I required in my use case?
I can. City can change the possible. That's why
City
because
changing, yeah, correct. Yeah,
we have.
yeah, go ahead,
We
Manoj.
are, why because we can change our job location or
Correct.
mm,
Yeah,
work location,
exactly.
staying location. Keep on going changing come to SCD.
SCD, correct. Thanks, Manoj. Yeah, thank you. You can mute on. Yeah, so SCD column, slowly changing dimension. So SCD column in my use case also we have, that is nothing but city. Maybe according to my use case, employee city is only the one which is required. I don't require of martial status, I don't require of last name, I don't require of gender. So these SCDs I have to maintain in three different types. If you are up to now, it's clear. You might get the backup session. Please go ahead once again to understand the concept. As we have lack of time, I'm just going further. So SCD type 1 we have. SCD type 2 we have. SCD type 3 we have. So type 1 which maintains the current data alone. Type 2 maintains with the current plus historical data. Type 3 is all about to maintain current plus partial history. So which is type important to data warehouse database? See, type 1 maintains only current data. Type 2 maintains current plus complete history data. But type 3 maintains only the current record, previous record to the current record. That's it. That is partial history. So tell me which type is very important to us to maintain.
Type 2.
Type 2 in data warehouse. Correct or not? Exactly. So type 2 is the most important concept. So related to type 2, we have few rules to maintain type 2. Means as we are learners today, I'm talking as rules, but generally in experience, when you go with an interview, they'll ask you attributes. Attributes. What are the attributes required to maintain history? That is the question. It's not rules, but for now, as we are learners, we'll talk about rules. So that the first one is the source primary key should not be a primary key. These all rules I'll justify tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see the practical implementation within the paint window. The source primary key should not be a primary key here. And the second one, there should be a new column as surrogate key. There should be a new column as surrogate key. And the third rule is there should be a new column as current flag. So tomorrow we will try to implement these all. I'll show you the practicality. And I mean, practical means not within the Databricks. It is all about in the pane. But at the end of the day, we have to implement using in the Databricks. We have to implement these all in the Databricks. Either you use SQL, either you do with Python, either you do with Scala, anything. We have to implement these all. So current flag and a version column and the start date, end date. Start date means nothing but the effective timestamp. Termination timestamp means nothing but end date. Start date. Sixth one, the last one, end date. So these all the attributes. With this help of these attributes, how we are going to maintain the history, I'll talk tomorrow. Practical implementation I'll do. As I said, I am discussing with my use case, right? The history data. I mean to say like all these three employees to work in three different locations, and after that I'll take a decision. These all things I'll show you practical implementation tomorrow. So that's it for today. We will talk these things tomorrow, and we'll complete the type 2 implementation tomorrow on the paint. With the Databricks, we will complete in the end of the course, near to end of this course. Any questions if you have, you can ask. Else, we people we can leave.